Oh, wait. You can just put this on the ground in front of you or something. Cheers. Alright, here we are.
We're recording.
I got the iPad recording the video. And
Hello.
then
Hello.
And then I got that going for the audio because a podcast has to have an audio only feature.
Yes.
Or else this would just be an interview show. Right?
You're right. Well, I don't know exactly what constitutes a podcast.
Well,
I think actually a podcast, I think technically, I think comes from like a feature on like the old iPods.
Yes.
And there was an app that was the podcast app that allowed you to sort of tune into like radio shows that were recorded and put on the podcast app. So I guess in all technicality, anything that isn't put out on the podcast app isn't actually a podcast.
I could see that. Well, there's now.
But podcast, I guess the word is kind of taken on a new meaning, which is basically just any sort of audio, talk show type, media.
Constitutes as a podcast.
Yeah, these days.
I would
Everyone
think so,
just
yeah.
says
Well, I
this
mean,
is a podcast.
I think it's like, there's internet, like Howard Stern is like internet radio.
Yeah, there's internet radio, but what's the difference? What's the difference between internet radio and podcasting in that sense then?
I think it's really just comes down to like old heads versus new heads. Like
It's just a matter of old people call it internet radio and
yeah,
the youngins call it
the
podcasts.
podcast. Yeah, exactly. And now we have a new wave of rogue podcasters who are just putting up interview shows on YouTube without an audio only feature, which is essentially not a podcast.
No,
it's just
that's just an interview.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like that's just a video of an interview.
Yeah, you don't call David Letterman a podcast. Yeah, he has a podcast now, I think, but like late night shows.
Yeah.
Those are interviews. That's essentially what this would be if there wasn't an audio only feature.
You're right.
Yeah, and I'm a big stickler on that. I mean, you could call it internet radio, but internet radio also has an audio only feature. Like if Howard Stern didn't have an audio only feture, it would just be.
I think the essence then of the podcast is because things on Spotify they call them podcasts too.
See, now that's the same thing, but like as you said, is it truly a podcast?
I don't think it is. I'm actually surprised that Apple isn't like suing the shit out of people for calling things podcasts, because I'm sure they own the name podcast because it comes literally from iPod. Apple did on their podcast app with their iPods.
I had to
back in like 2008.
Maybe even earlier.
No, I don't know.
No, probably 2008.
Because it was the app because the apps they weren't a thing until the iPod Touch kind of.
iPod Touch was the GOAT.
Yeah, I remember being in fourth grade.
Oh.
When the iPod Touch came out, and this girl came to school with the iPod, and we were all like, "Whoa!" She was playing Marble Blast on.
She was the coolest girl until the next person got one.
Yeah. Hang on, can I move them?
Do whatever you want.
No, I can put it in my hands, right? I can just.
I'm doing the hand thing because I got too much going on over here.
I kind of like it like this anyway, because then I don't have to. I don't want it to be in front of me with the recording, but I also. Well, here I can do this, right? Does it turn like?
You can adjust it anyway. We should have did that before.
No, it's all right. I'll just do this. This is fine.
And then just move this out of the way or over there.
This is all good.
Yeah, so like now, and Joe Rogan, I think, kind of revolutionized podcasts.
Joe Rogan, I don't know if he really,
because he did the video.
Yeah.
And now, even though I'm a stickler for audio only, because audio only, it doesn't have to be only audio only, but it needs to have audio only.
An option for being audio.
It needs to have an option to be a podcast. And
what do you think about Joe Rogan?
I don't know. This probably wouldn't have happened. Oh, by the way, this is an Intimate Artist Showcase podcast featuring Rowles, also known as
JR 97.
And And she,
they,
she,
this
person, Jay,
yeah,
formerly Justin, as I knew you.
Yes, as many did.
Many did. Is the inaugural guest. It was going to be Sam, but time schedules.
Sam
Couture. Who did this? Who did the mural?
Shout out to Sam.
Shout out to
mural.
Sam.
It looks good. It looks intimate and artsy.
And, we're here. This is the first episode. But back to, I was going to say, though, if it wasn't for Joe Rogan, I don't think this would have happened. Like, I don't think he was a very influential person. When I was 14 with the iPod touches and stuff, DMT, war on drugs, all that stuff, like his sound bites and stuff I'd listen to, and it changed became like a revolution. I was like, I'm gonna take over the world. I'm gonna do it all, and but now it's like, fuck, he's kind of being an asshole in ways, and
I think he always was.
He's done a lot of good though too. It's tough to say.
I don't know. It is tough to say. I mean, anyone's got
good and
nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. I just think people.
I just don't think he understands some people. He misunderstands people.
Yeah.
Especially with transgender stuff, he takes too lightly.
Yeah.
And his biggest critique, I guess, but he's kind of fluid with his guests. Like good and bad. He will have Republicans, Independents, Democrats on his show. He'll have anybody.
Anyone he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't watch Joe Rogan's. I can't say I've ever really listened to a Joe Rogan podcast or anything. So I don't really have a lot to say about this. But I can imagine just from seeing the things I've seen and hearing.
Well, that's the thing. That's like the media.
Who is this guy and why should I give a shit about him?
Well, that's the thing, is because people take whatever. That's like fake news. Is like, oh, I'm gonna splice this little clip, and then it's gonna go against my agenda. He could just be filibustering or like trying to be devil's advocate. He might not even think what that person is trying to see him as.
Yeah.
But he's just trying to, they're trying to create a narrative that might not have been there.
This is true.
So it's like you gotta dig deeper, and like there's too much though. There's just like 1,000 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that many. I don't even know if I even really want to watch one. I mean, I saw the one with Elon Musk where he smokes the joint. Or whatever.
Classic.
That's about it. Because it was the meme, so it's like, oh, I guess I should know. Yeah, it's like that. Like what? Oh wow! I'm sure he smokes so much pot.
He didn't even know. That's the best part.
I read actually this thing once about how well, there's this whole thing because he's dating Grimes or whatever. Are they still together?
I know they have kids.
They have a kid. They have 2 kids.
2 kids.
Really?
The one's name is like.
I didn't hear about.
It's like, you can't even. It's like a fucking Greek letter.
Yeah, I remember that one. I didn't know they had a second one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah. What was I going to say about Elon Musk? Oh, that I had just read this little tidbit. I read a couple tidbits about Elon Musk here and there. And one of them, the tidbits that I read, is that he got a real kick out of taking acid and going to MMA shows, MMA fights.
That's
kind
of
weird. He would be on acid at the MMA fight.
It's a weird.
Which sounds kind of cool. Like, I mean, I don't really do acid anymore. But I can imagine, I've done acid, and I can imagine that it would make it more intense than it already is.
Oh my god, yeah.
For a thrill-seeking...
It's intense when it's on the projector.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch men beat the shit out of each other.
And women. Though, I mean, the women, it makes me uncomfortable more than the men.
It's kind of exciting.
Because, like, with the women, I'm like, oh my god. Like, you're not expecting women to be that aggressive. With men, it's like, I don't give a fuck.
You ever watch WWE?
Oh, the Divas? Trust me, I've watched too much.
They'll just kick each other. They'll just take a fucking folding chair and hit each other in the tits with it. Like, that shit's intense.
It's intense. Yeah,
Stacey
Keebler was the GOAT. And then Tori Wilson, they made out. I watched that like on YouTube.
Yeah.
18,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
I got an award for most views on a video ever. Just had it looped.
Wow.
Oh, kitty, hey.
Oh, we got a special guest.
Special guest, LeCat James.
Yeah.
Come here. So, should we mention tonight we got...
Well, I mean, you know, yeah, do we have like talking points or anything?
Well, tonight we have Ray Mione.
We have Ray
comedy
Mione coming
night.
tonight, yeah.
We
should talk about what we've done so far as well.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jay is not only one of my best friends, Jay's also my roommate.
Yes.
Somewhat, I'm like a hybrid roommate-tenant, or roommate landlord.
Yeah.
My mom's not home. I'm the landlord.
Yes.
And then when she comes home from wherever she's perusing, I become like a half landlord, half roommate kind of situation.
Yeah.
And we got the whole house rented out. We got a foundation going, the Foreclosed Home Foundation. I'm trying to save this house. Me and my mom, a family. Foreclosure.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
We're doing that by having shows to raise money to keep the house, and we'll have shows. The first one we did was really fun.
Oh, that was the best.
We had
Jess's birthday.
7. It was Jess's birthday, which is still it was so fun.
I'm gonna put Ray's name up, I think.
Happy birthday, Ray!
It's everybody's birthday.
Oh my god. But no, we had Ezra here, Equinox 7, and he did a little drum and bass set, which was cool.
Oh, that was cool.
And then I followed suit with some techno music.
Yeah, you have like a hybrid techno, like.
Well, it started techno, and then because I had like a thing I was trying to keep in with because it was kind of like two things. Well, first of all, we went all night, and so
all night.
If I was just playing techno all night, it would be like okay. Like,
you had to dip out, and the parties kept going.
I mean, I dipped out.
You just kept his gear.
Well, I had work in the morning. I wound up calling off anyway, but because I just had a lot of fun, but anyway, so yeah. Well, I was playing techno because I had a techno set planned out because I wanted to kind of I wanted to do that basically because techno I love it and I love electronic music and I really wanted to live out my fantasy of playing techno records for people and watching them dance to it.
That was a beautiful moment, honestly, because prior to that, Jay was going so hard in his room. Just making these beats. Even before you moved in, we went over to your house.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have always had a passion for making music and listening to it and sharing it and exploring it and yeah, I guess when quarantine. Well, I had started like making music when I was like 19 or 20. Sort of downloaded acoustic guitar, right? Yeah, acoustic guitar because that's just what all my friends were doing. And I hadn't really figured out how to make. I didn't know how to use software or anything like that.
It was after you dated that one guy, right? The music teacher.
Oh well, actually, it was kind of concurrent with that. Well, no, it was really the underground microphone. Shout out to the underground.
Oh my god, underground mic.
Because a lot of people there because I felt like
she inspired this too.
Yeah,
this is kind of like a Louis inspired.
Yeah, the wave. Yeah, no, totally. Because it was like we'd go to the underground microphone, I'd see everyone like play music and everything, and I really wanted to learn how to make music like my whole life, and just had been like too timid or lacked the confidence and the courage to.
But you were an artist.
Didn't have any faith. I was an artist. Yeah,
Jay would draw the night. Like I still have pictures from.
Oh hell yeah! I would just draw shit. I was the
during the night.
I was the weird kid at the party who would just kind of like, I would sort of just sit in the corner and draw the people that were there. And,
you were the first.
And they would come up to me and they'd be like,
"Oh, draw really kid,"
and I would be like, "Oh yeah, this is just a drawing because I'm too nervous to interact with anybody."
But that was also like a talking point because that's how I met you.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. People
like,
would be like drawing, and I would be like, "Oh yeah," and I would just go on about art. And I mean, there are artists there who were interested, but it took me a little bit of time to figure out that maybe I should. Have more to talk about than just like art and philosophy. But I hadn't come out of my shell quite yet. I was still nervous.
I'm very proud.
Socially anxious.
I mean, it never goes away. It flows.
Stoned too high.
You should. I'd love for you to add into this. I think I'm going to do a redo eventually too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, no. So then I just kind of kept at it, making the music. I bought a guitar. I downloaded some software, but it was like it was really during quarantine that I really did. Well, the summer before, like summer of 2019, I was living in like the middle of the woods with my friends and didn't really have anything to do because I didn't have a car or anything, so I just kind of sat in my room sort of
and just
making techno beats or like learning how to use the software.
I don't even think I knew you were like I remember at Underground Mike you were like you're like, yeah, I'm getting into techno and shit. I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, I'm like, here. And you showed me something, and you're like, yeah, I just played A minor and just like transcended it. I'm like, oh shit. And then from there, it was like,
yeah.
I don't think until Cheesy brought me over did I realize like what you were really up to.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't really know what I was really up to, but it was like, then it was like in 2019 when I started working downtown and hanging out at the Bog more often. And then I really started getting more into making music and was like, oh, and then I wound up DJing there with Sam because I just got asked to.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, and it was a lot of fun. We did Thanksgiving. We did the boogie, the boogie.
I have that card in my room.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was a really great night. It was fun to see people dancing. I mean, we were just kind of picking songs on Spotify, which like anyone probably could have done. But at the same time, it kind of made me.
Yeah, the flow.
It got me like on stage and in front of people and picking songs and like kind of reading the room, the basics of sort of DJing and that sort of thing. And it grew my interest because I was like, okay, I could do this better or like be more involved and actually have gear and actually have a setup and a set and like actually like do this properly. Because I wasn't actually a DJ at that point. I had mentioned that I had an interest in DJing, and then the bartenders were like, oh, you should DJ Thanksgiving. I was like, okay. I did not know what the fuck I was doing at that point. And then they asked me to do it again in February, and we did Wing Night.
I still have that one as well.
Wing Night was a great time. However, it was kind of a marketing issue because the idea was that everyone dresses up, wears wings. Which I loved because it was really
Valentine's
gay.
Day,
It was
right?
really gay. It was really fun. I had wanted to dress up anyway, because I liked doing that. Like when we did Halloween at the Bog, I had a really cool costume, and I'd just been getting into making clothes and everything. I bought a sewing machine, and so I really liked making costumes and things like that. But anyway, so yeah, we did Wing Night. But what happened was people showed up to the bar expecting there to be hot wings, and they didn't. Little did they know that I was the hot wings.
You were the hot wings.
And I tried playing house music, but the thing with the Bog is that a lot of people who go there are like, thinking of like punk or like rock and roll or like house music and electronic music isn't really a huge thing around here.
Yeah,
and if the people do like electronic music,
there's an electronic.
There is, and I really wanted to go to it, but I just didn't really. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know. And this was
if I wasn't broke right now, I would have went. And if I didn't have the show.
Yeah, I didn't know how much tickets were and anything, and I
we'll
really
get
didn't
there.
want to go.
I know that.
I hope more of that stuff comes around.
The guy who runs it, I worked with at Snow Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Nick, so.
And there's always whatever.
Ooh, I could have him come and perform. You guys could do a set.
You could see
maybe we could do he could be the headmaster, and then like everybody else is doing sets and
the headliner,
or just the guy that is like obviously you have a set, but he could book the other guys and be like, hey, come to this spot.
Yeah, it could be cool, and yeah. But what were you saying? Oh yeah, I was basically not a lot of people at the Bog really liked house music, which is a shame because I love house music. And it wasn't until, also I was supposed to be DJing with Sam, and of course he was 2 hours late, but...
He's supposed to come tonight, and he was like, I'll be there later. I'm like, you might miss it.
Yeah,
everything.
Okay.
And I'm going to shut the doors.
And I like the times clever, you know what I mean? Like, all good, whatever's clever. But, yeah, so it was kind of like, there were 5 people in the bar. Eventually there was 7 or 8. And then Sam showed up, and we had some fun, and then really the most fun was when just Hannah came in her wings and Sam had his wings, and we were all wearing our wings and we were dancing around and we were having more fun than anyone else. But
it was the best. I came a little late.
It was good, and it was also a Thursday night, in February, and the whole wing night thing kind of threw.
And then Hannah gave out
Valentine's.
It was so sweet.
It was cute.
So, but then quarantine happened, and we were like, oh shit. So I just spent most of quarantine just like trying to make more music, getting records, getting equipment, getting like the stuff I needed, learning how to use it, from like getting more music, listening to more music, doing more research, like getting into the zone. Very creative stuff, and then I picked up some other skills too. I started doing 3D rendering.
Oh, we got to do that eventually. I need help with that, with the Earthships.
Yeah. So I learned how to do that, which was really cool. So anyway, playing that show
here.
Yeah, was really fun because it was
sort of like it felt culminating.
It was the culmination of like all the work that I had put into.
Because you were mixing
my stuff. Yeah, I was spinning records, like real records, and as well as mixing in between. Yeah, if you have video, send it to me.
Yeah, I'm losing memory or data on like Google Drive.
Send it to me, and I put it in my Google Drive. Anyway, so I had my digital, my like Pioneer decks, and it was like it was cool because it was like if you like look at like DJs on like Boiler Room or like like that kind of thing where they live stream or they stream like DJ sets. It's like those are the kinds of setups they have. They have the turntables with the records, and then they have the crossfaders and the digital turntables, and then the whatever. Other stuff, and so that's kind of what I modeled my setup after, and it was cool because I could switch between records and songs I had on my computer, and then I could like kind of switch things up a little bit as I felt they needed to be done. But yeah, I had a whole set planned, and it was really cool because I did it well. It was a lot of fun.
Everyone had a blast.
Ezra did a great job too.
Yeah, Ezra warmed it up.
Really killed it. It was just exciting to be hearing drum and bass, not by myself. And electronic music, and playing electronic music not for myself. You know what I mean? Because like all the quarantine, I was like, oh yeah, I'm really into this thing that like not a lot of people are into around here.
You went to Miami, you would.
Well, I know.
Or New York.
Yeah, I need to go. I was looking at like shows and stuff in New York in the summer, and but I like want to make sure, like I really want to.
We should go visit Lily. And maybe she
go to an underground rave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the tunnels.
And just show some. If you show some people some music, they'll be like, okay, we're gonna get you. Bring your gear, and then that night you'll probably play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of gear though.
I'll help you out. I'll drive.
Yeah.
But oh god, driving in New York is a fucking.
I know.
Hell.
I know. Yeah, and then last weekend was it? We had the Stoner Morning Show come.
Oh, that was fucking awesome.
That was a lot of fun too.
And it took me, oh my god, what was it, 2 weeks? Probably months of culminated work, but 2 weeks of straight work out back. You helped out.
Yeah.
You were pulling weeds out there.
Yeah, pulling weeds. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, so the Stoner Morning Show is fun. They're like a podcast. What are they? They're
a variety. They do it all. Like I'm very they're kind of like a mentor. I'm like a mentee to them.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out to New York for them too if you want to stroll out.
Oh, totally. I would love to go to New York.
But they do a variety show. Like they do every Saturday because of quarantine. They started doing like live shows every Saturday in the morning, Stoner Morning Show, where they actually finally do it in the morning. Usually they do it at night because like most shows are at night. So they do the Stoner Morning Show. Like here they did it at 7.
Yeah.
And it was. And then they do stand up. I met them at the Fringe Fest, Grant Fringe Fest.
Oh,
and I was a guest. Jack at Underground Mike was like, "Does anyone want to be a guest? Anyone want to be a guest?" My friend Sean's doing the Stoner Morning Show. I was gonna move to Colorado, and the Scranton Fringe Fest was one of the reasons I was like, I might stay until. I was like, I was planning my exit after the Fringe Fest.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna leave after, because I want to see Stoner Morning Show. Then I became Johnnie and Manny, but I still ended up doing the show.
Yeah.
I came on as a guest. I took them to the bog. We had a fun night. And then Jason, the bigger guy, he had to go to New York to visit his dad in the hospital, and then he ended up not coming back. So Sean had me co-host.
Oh, wow.
The Stoner Morning Show for his last show. And then he had to go to trivia night with all the contestants, all the Scranton Fringe Fest, like people.
Yeah.
And I had to finish out the show. I had to close it out. It was fucking awesome.
Cool.
It's on YouTube, Casually Enlightened TV.
Yeah, so they were a lot of fun. And they came, and then I DJ'd a little set of some records that I have. Some
That was
psychedelic
crazy.
stuff.
It was like a jungle.
Yeah, I got a little far out with it, because I figured we're all stoned. It's like
I was a nervous Nelly, wasn't I?
You were a little nervous.
They brought those brownies. There's so much sugar.
I had a pot
They jacked me up.
and I
they
smoked
were
it.
pot?
I was and I was. Oh, is that what happened?
I thought they just had a lot of sugar.
No, they were pot brownies. They said, but yeah. So I was stoned out of my mind. I was playing like krautrock and like weird like.
It was jungly.
It was got a little crazy.
I thought the cops were gonna come. So I remember.
Well, a lot of it was just like noise, like. Like it got a little crazy there for a minute. I was just kind of like getting weird with it, but you got to sometimes.
You have to, and I was hoping.
And plus, like whatever. I was embracing weirdness, and we were all stoned. It's like.
And you had like the cutoff on, and you were kind of like just flowy.
Yeah, I was definitely like in my zone.
Yeah, I had to remember I ran through the neighbor's yard to make sure it wasn't that loud, and it wasn't that loud because the music was projecting to.
Yeah, I also just wasn't playing it that loud.
But no, I turned it all the way up.
Yeah.
I remember I called you.
Oh yeah,
Too low.
Because you wanted to see how loud it was. I mean, it was pretty good. And then Jack performed.
Oh, Jack was.
And that was really the event of the evening.
I'm so happy I got to be the Tupperware.
The Tupperware drummer, yeah.
Tupperware drummer. And the Tupperwave is still out in the backyard performing. It doesn't know that no one's there because it's not sentient.
This is true. I mean, I saw it actually out the window and I was like, oh, there's the Tupperware. No, it was a fun night. So now tonight we're gearing up for Ray Mione's night of comedy. We have a couple other comedians coming to tell some jokes and make us all laugh.
I'm sorry, I don't have their names right now. I saw the one guy at the underground mic, and he caused like a little stir because I think he has a big penis. And he liked to talk about it.
That's okay.
He's a shorter man, but oftentimes shorter men tend to have big penises. Not that I would know, but.
Yeah.
You made it known.
Yeah, I think the more someone talks about their dick,
the
smaller it is.
Smaller it is. I don't know though. It's either giant or super small. If you talk about it, it's either giant or super small. Because if you got it like that, you're just gonna be like, I got it like that. But if you're super small, you're like, I don't have it like that, so I'm not gonna. And then like if you have a medium schmedium or like a medium large. Like you're kind of like, is it big or is it not big? I don't know. You're kind of waiting for someone to tell you.
Yeah, you're kind of waiting for someone to tell me. That's so true though.
You don't know.
That's so funny.
If you have
you're
a
not
giant,
sure,
you're
just waiting for someone to tell you that your dick is huge.
Yeah, but how do you know if they're actually being honest and then
you
just
Google it? You're like, okay, is 6.5, is 5.5 big?
No.
Is 6 inches a big dick?
It's slightly the slightest above average. It depends. In Nigeria, it's not.
No, we're not. I'm not going there.
In Nigeria, I think it's 6. I think 6 or 7.
In America, actually, the average is 5.5.
5.5, and then in like Asia, it's like 5 or 4.5.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, so like if you're like 6, 6.5, you're slightly above. If you're like 7, 7.5, you're like above average.
That's hung. I consider 7 inches or more to be hung.
Really?
Yeah, maybe
that's
7.5.
in the hung. That's in the hung.
Well, I would say hung. Yeah, I would say that's a big dick.
It's a big dick. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I always thought 7, 7.5 was like tier like presidential.
Presidential.
Like Barack Obama.
You said this before. What was it that? Why did you? I'm trying to remember now. It was hysterical. Whatever you said. It was on the back. Well, it was something about like how Obama carries himself in his demeanor and how that's similar to having a dick that's 7.5 inches.
Yeah, it's like Obama's not like 6'8", but he's like 6'1", 6'2". He's taller than most people.
He's taller than most.
He's not the tallest.
He might not be the tallest, but he's taller than most.
And just his confidence is like, yeah, but I'm not an asshole. Like, he's not a dick. He's not like fucking, who's got a huge dick that's like a douchebag? Like,
I don't know. Everyone's
like a typical jock. Like a typical jock douche who's just like
a lot of jock douches have
small penis.
small ones.
Big muscles, small penises.
Big muscles, small.
That should be like a comedy skit. Big.
We could go on about dicks all night long. I don't care.
Dicks, I mean, it seems like a big topic of discussion within like the world right now because more people are free to talk. Like girls are talking about dicks, like it's fucking talking about.
Girls have always been talking about dicks. They just haven't been doing it
in front of people. Yeah.
They all talk.
It's honestly nice. Like girls are pretty nice about dicks. Like 5.5 is fine.
Well, yeah, because if your dick's
if you're not a size queen,
enormous, you're gonna split the chick in half. Like, she's not gonna be happy about that.
But that kind of prepares you for childbirth, right?
From my experience, a huge dick is like there's only so much you can do with it.
Bigger's not always better.
It's not.
See, that's why I think too that goes back to Barack Obama with the 7.5. Like,
Perfect.
It's manageable. It's perfect, as they say. Like it's big enough to be like, but not small enough to be like. But it's big enough to be like, but it's also it's not too big where it's like they can have fun on it. They could do things they said that like a bigger dick might not.
I mean, like a big dick's fun for like hand jobs and blow jobs, but if there's like any sort of penetration thing going on, like it can get dangerous quickly.
Danger zone. Just like dicks driving like highway to the danger zone.
Seriously.
And then it's just like dicks, like you're driving away from dicks, like swerving.
A lot
dicks.
can go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, other than my own, touched one. Yeah, I would say.
What's really important is the size of the guy's load.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The finish shot.
Yeah, because it's like all that hard work, and then what if you get like a little
die?
That's like annoying. Like
yeah, that's why you gotta save it up.
Johnny, to get me on your podcast, you gotta understand. I'm gonna say something I'm gonna say something out of pocket shit. I'm gonna say something.
That's what I wanted. I'm, not shocked, but also I'm shocked, but also not shocked. We divulged to penis size and penis.
I mean, it was gonna go there.
It was gonna go there.
You've got me on the stage. I mean, like for fuck's sake.
The connoisseur.
Oh,
the connoisseur. Sommelier.
Yeah, the cock sommelier. I like sniff it. Like
that should be a podcast.
No, it's got some great notes.
Bring on celebrities.
It smells like you haven't changed your underwear in 3 days. It's hot.
Oh my god. That is what I'm here. Those are the. That's what we need to do that now. The cock sommelier podcast.
That's what this is. We're doing it right
just
now.
be you like with a wine glass.
Yeah, just like I'm getting notes of. Oh, what would I get notes of? Oh my god, fucking. Yeah.
2-week-old boxer briefs.
Yeah. Unwashed. You wore them once and then let them sit for a week, and then you thought,
throw them back on. Check. No poo marks. We're good.
Yeah, as long as fucking shit. Yeah.
Shit marks.
Smells slightly like piss. Hot.
That is genius.
You see, like,
what?
See, I always keep stopping myself because I go off about to say some fucking shit, and then I'm like, should I be talking about this? Should I be revealing these?
This isn't even like
about.
This is kind of tame compared to like Call Her Daddy. They're just like, yeah, you have to. Call Her Daddy is basically just girls telling you how to suck a cock.
I'll tell you how to suck a cock.
Gluck Gluck 9000.
You gotta use your tongue.
Yeah, tongue. I mean, you don't want to cheese grater the guy's penis, I'm guessing.
Do not use your fucking teeth.
I've had a girl literally almost bite my penis off.
Maybe she wanted to.
She did. She
hated you, John.
She hated me. It was a spite blowjob.
Oh,
to be honest.
Dangerous territory.
Spite blowjob, 100%. Because I didn't like her that much, and I was avoiding her, and I was,
Why are you letting her suck your dick then?
The cops came to this party, so
she sucked your dick.
No, like we were looking for this other girl, and who ended up I almost had a 3-way with both of them, but she was like, we couldn't find her.
I think you told me this story.
And she had the key. I think I was driving, so I had the keys. She's like, we have to go look out in the. Maybe she's in the car.
While you were driving?
No, but we went to the car. She's like, maybe she's in the car. I'm like, I locked the car. She's not in the car. Why'd she go to the car if she can't go in the car? She was like, well, we should look. And then like we went in the car and we went in the back seat. And she's like, I guess she's not here. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay. And then we hooked up, and then she gave me a BJ, and then it was terrible. It was the worst experience of my life.
Why? What went wrong?
It was biting.
Maybe she just didn't know how to suck dick, or if she was actually biting your dick. Like, I'm gonna bite your dick right now.
She might have been. That's what now you're making me think. And
Maybe
then
she was into it, but you gotta talk about that kind of thing before you just start doing it.
yeah. And then as soon as I felt any sense of pleasure, I released the troops, as I told my friends afterwards.
You came immediately.
Immediately, because it was so painful. It wasn't. I was just like
wanted it to be over
with. And then she got up and wrapped her legs around me and said, "My turn." And I said, and I jumped out the car. And she's like, "I fucking hate you."
What? She was gonna like. What do you mean her turn?
She wanted me to like eat her out or something else.
Well,
but I was horrified. It would have been, and I would have finally obliged, but she was mean to me. She was like negging me. She was just like,
ooh.
She was like nagging me. Well, before she was giving me a hand job at the river. Again, we were looking for this girl, and we couldn't find her. And she's like, let's go to the riverbank. She's probably there. I'm like, whatever. And then like I ended up like she was giving me a hand job, and like she was just like kind of mean still. Like even while she was giving me a hand job, she was kind of mean.
Sounds hot.
Kind of hot. Yeah. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, we gotta go find this girl. We went and found her. Yeah, that was
Sounds like a sexcapade.
It was a sexcapade. Yeah. And she spit up the cum on my favorite jersey.
Spitters or quitters.
Quitter. She quit.
I swallow every time.
You're a gamer.
Hell yeah.
Gamer.
I'm a winner. That's
Winner.
what I am.
It's either on the face or in the stomach. Those are gamers, right? Or both.
What do you mean?
Well, like I enjoy a face shot.
I love cum on my face.
Yeah, so like it's either in the face, down the throat, or both.
Yeah.
I think that would be the Michael Jordan of Michael Jordan if he was gay would not fucking spit because he's a gamer and he's winning the NBA Finals every year.
Oh.
Well, it's almost. Ray should be coming. I'm gonna see my messages. See if he hit me up. Not yet. Let me tell him. My mom, I need you to freaking. Please just come home so you could open the door. But I'm gonna need the door open. But if not, I'm just gonna let him in from the back.
Letting him in the back, huh?
Let him in the back.
Ray's coming in the back, guys.
Ray's coming in the back tonight.
Oh, God.
I'll let Ray come in my back anytime. Let it happen. Ooh, should the cock connoisseurs? Sommelier. Should that just be like you just talking shit about people, just guessing
No, I don't
people's
like
dick
to talk shit
sizes?
about people.
Well, are you gonna? What's it gonna be like?
Cock sommelier?
Yeah.
I feel like a bunch of people telling stories about dicks.
Okay.
About weird dicks or big dicks or small dicks.
So for the picture though,
good dicks and bad dicks.
Is it gonna be like you, like a wine bottle?
It's gonna be
wine bottle with like the thing on the bottom is like a balls.
It's just gonna be me with a wine glass full of semen.
What? Oh my God. Who's semen? Yours or somebody else?
A different.
I don't know. Over a week or two, or is it like a day?
It's a couple guys. I just go and I just am like, guys, I need you all to come to this wine glass. And then I try to pick up different notes. I try to determine the diet of each man based off of how his cum smells and tastes.
pineapple and celery. Do you know Peter North, the legendary?
I have heard that your diet does change
Big time.
how, like, for instance, a boy who eats Taco Bell and drinks Monster
it's
Energy
just
drinks
fucking
has come to taste like battery acid.
Oh.
If the vegetarians,
Vegan
are
probably has
better.
the cleanest, right?
Have I
Dairy,
ever
if
swallowed
you-
vegan? I don't think I've ever.
That could be your first episode.
Yeah,
The vegan shot.
I don't. I mean, I just don't know for sure. I mean,
Lemongrass shot.
yeah, that'd be funny as hell. The vegan. Try to guess who the vegan
Or
is.
like, oh my god, that just had like. Would it be a good idea to like blow a dude? And then interview him after or before.
he fucking comes in and just like the lights turn on. We're on a stage and we're like, I'm here with my special guest. So tell me, how was it? You can be honest. Come on now.
You gotta tell me how was I? You're the sommelier.
Oh yeah. Well, here's what I noticed. You need to cut back on the bag energy drinks. Maybe drink some water.
Hydrate.
Uh-huh.
Some celery. Juice up some celery.
And it would have been better if you didn't jack off 3 times today.
Oh, big time. See, Peter North, that's
Which
what
I did notice.
You should have Peter North on.
That there was not a lot going on. That you
Done.
were spent. I don't want to say you were shooting blanks or nothing, but you know, it wasn't much substance.
Wasn't too much. Not talking that smoke, but wasn't too much smoke coming out of that pee.
Second of all, if you're gonna have a jungle, keep it clean.
A jungle?
I don't know. See, I say that, but like honestly, I think it's kind of hot when guys junk smells.
When they what?
When their junk smells,
Oh, it's kind of like when you like
Like
a
a
guy who
musty?
smells like after the gym, kind of.
like a little musty.
Little
Yeah,
musty.
I honestly haven't done it.
See, I've had
After a long day of work.
boots knock them boots off. Not the only boots knocking.
Oh yeah. Boots are the only thing getting knocked tonight.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you should definitely do this. I'll be the producer.
Cock sommelier.
I'll be the guy, arranging the cocks. So should you interview them before this blowj or just after?
After, and it's complete
Complete
surprise.
after.
It's complete surprise.
So
too.
you're
They have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
So you come on the stage. It's a dark room, and
I should interview them before,
and then be like, all right, let's do
and then
this.
decide whether or not I want to. So tell me about your
diet.
Tell me about your cock.
Maybe you ate so.
What's the fondest memory you have of your dad?
So when I was just a boy, we were at the beach and we went down to the ocean and my dad stayed back, but I realized I forgot my favorite dinosaur, and I was like, Mom, can I go back to the room? I gotta get that T-Rex, you know what I'm saying? She's like, of course, go back. She gave me the key. I get up there. I grab my dino and I look up and I see the fucking real Spinosaurus Rex. My dad dropped his towel after the shower.
I didn't want to hear about your dad's.
Well, this
dick.
is a shaping of my own penis because he looked up at me like Dane Cook before I knew Dane Cook's comedy bit. He goes, "This will be yours one day," and I was like terrified, and I went downstairs back to the beach, and then I was like, I guess I'm gonna have a. Because dad dicks were bigger than like his. It looked like a fucking antelope. But
my dad's dick looked like an antelope.
yeah,
That's poetry. Right
it was girth. It was a girthquake for sure.
Earthquake. You should write this shit down, Johnny.
I should. I mean, it sucks because
And then show it to your therapist.
Because Dane Cook already did that bit though. He said his dad said the exact same thing as mine. And I'm not even capping. Like I don't even care. I can't do it as a
Wait.
Dane Cook did a bit about how he saw his dad's penis, and he said literally the same thing. One day this will be yours. And my dad said the same thing, and I'll never forget it.
What if it's not true though?
What if he didn't say it? If that didn't
No, I
happen?
mean like what if
didn't cook.
What
He
if
still
like
showed
what if you
us.
got the genetics from your mom's side, so actually your dick is more like your grandpa's on your mom's
Oh
side?
shit!
Or like your
I
uncle's?
don't know, because I mean, balding and stuff comes from supposedly your mom's side. It's all different though. It's percentage wise, like it's not a guarantee. Like my dad has great head of hair, so I might have that. My grandfather went bald, so I could go bald,
You could go bald.
but I don't think I will, because my diet's pretty clean and stuff.
I need to clean up my diet
Yeah,
a
I
little
mean,
bit.
jizzing in people's mouths.
Well, I mean, I called out. I mean, my diet's not horrible. I mean, I pretty much just eat like for breakfast, I usually have like an egg sandwich, like usually with like roasted red peppers and spinach, some cheese.
Okay.
Lunch, I usually just have like, you know, my diet's actually not bad. I don't eat a lot of fast food.
That's good.
I don't eat like a lot of processed foods. I try to like I usually go to Eden like for after my shift.
That's like a half and half, like half good for you, half kind of like a junk food.
What?
Eden, but it's at least it's all vegan.
I mean, it's all vegan. I mean, it's kind of you know whatever.
But it's so tasty.
I'm not saying I'm the healthy. I don't have
At least it's
I
at least
definitely don't
it's
have the cleanest
animal
diet,
conscious.
but it's not like I don't like drink like energy drinks every day and like eat junk food all the time. Like the worst thing that I'll eat is like pizza or like a bag of potato chips.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
You know what I mean? As far as like stuff that's like really high in like fats or like stuff.
So that's good.
Like I'm not eating like shit food, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good because
I need maybe some more fruits and vegetables, I think maybe.
fruits and vegetables are really good.
Like,
Always good.
Like more like I have salads a lot, but like I feel like I could really go crazy. Well, I should just do more, but like it's
Well, if
hard
you're-
now
if
because
you're trying to
like
get
I don't
your-
cook, so it's like.
If you're trying to get your bust to, be trusted.
Well, to be honest, my main focus right now in my diet is getting as fat of an ass as possible.
Squats. It's not even about. It is about diet. That's definitely a
Well,
big
I gotta
component, but
get,
you
I
just
have to
gotta
have the,
squat
I
it
have the
out.
fat there too, and then I gotta turn it into muscle. You know.
Yeah, squatting it out is the number one. Just do that. You look at like a booty workout.
We're just going up and down the stairs 17,000 times a day.
That definitely helps. The hills, climbing hills.
Yeah.
Go to San Francisco. Your
I
booty's
noticed my
gonna be
ass is
popping.
looking a little fatter since taking estrogen. Since I started taking estrogen.
Really?
Yeah.
Because booty popping is a lot of testosterone.
Not necessarily true because girls have way more poppin' booties than guys have, and I think that just.
I don't know. I mean, have you seen like a fucking NFL linebacker's booty?
Well, that's just like working out, and besides, their bodies are like totally like. That is not like that's an unrealistic standard.
I mean, unrealistic. Yeah, to most people, but like to
Yeah.
say like most dudes.
I'm not saying you can't get. I'm not saying you can't have a fat ass like if you're a guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying women naturally just that's where the fat
Yeah.
in their body is
Especially
deposited.
it's for birthing.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's for, but I guess
I
so.
don't know. I'm guessing.
But it's just like that's just a natural effect of like that's just how the hormones distribute the fat in the body. You know, girls get like more. They'll have more fat. Like it's just distributed differently. Like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Like guys will get fat and like have like a gut,
Gut,
you know,
a
kind
big
of
old
thing.
gut,
And girls
or
will have like kind of
shoulders,
like
like
more in the hips or like, you know, that kind of thing. So, but I've just noticed in my own body over the past couple of weeks, it's kind of like changed, like, sort of the shapes of certain parts of my body, like my shoulders a little bit are kind of softer. Like yeah, my ass is fatter, and that's really nice. And then too, like in my like
just to pop an estrogen, get my
dude,
booty
honestly, well, no, you can't really do that, but because it's like
Yeah,
it's not
these
just
days.
like you can just like take one and then like you have to like take it consistently, and it's also gonna change your body in ways that you might not want, like as a guy, or as a cis guy, because like you are gonna like after a while taking it, you are gonna start to develop boobs, and it's gonna you know affect your body in other ways. Like another real crazy thing I've noticed is that I can smell things more. Like my sense of smell is more.
You said that. I remember you said
Yeah.
that.
Also, my dick smells like pussy now.
That's wild.
which is
a head trip, but cool. My general body odor has changed. I don't sweat as much. I still sweat, just not as much.
Your hair's looking great.
My hair's actually growing back, actually, because at parts where it like receded,
yeah, it's coming
there's
back.
starting to be more hair growth. But it's also just like more like thicker and fuller.
You should throw some coconut oil in.
I was just take biotin pills actually. So I do take
Yeah.
biotin supplements. I meant to pick some up, but I forgot.
And
But
be-
it's
and
just
be
nice.
active.
It's like a magic thing. It's like it's giving me everything I ever wanted, and that's not like not everyone. Not everyone's trans, and not everyone wants to have all those things. But I do.
yeah.
I'm really into
And
it.
it works out, and you're doing it.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't really even really noticed anything that like isn't like that I'm not like into. You know what I mean? Or not like that it like there's not any like kind of side effects that I don't really want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
It's like because some people they want their face to be more feminine looking, but they don't want boobs necessarily. Or they want to have like estrogen in their body and like for like the sake of like so their dysphoria relaxes, but they don't want certain things to happen. It'll also make you infertile, which I don't care because I don't want kids.
Sounds like a benefit.
Yeah, honestly.
You're not trying to have kids?
No, hell no. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean,
I feel like
are you bisexual still, or are you?
The sexuality question
does it go,
is always
like-
that. I mean, yeah, I would say yeah, I'm still bisexual.
So then it is still a concern because you.
No, because I don't want to have kids
I
though.
want to pop it into some.
I don't
shit.
want to. If anything, that's better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, still use protection.
Because I still want to have if I find the right girl, I'd love to have kids. Just because Johnny the Manny, I kind of know.
Yeah, I really won't want to have kids. Like if I ever do want to have,
Just adopt.
if I ever want to take care of something,
Just work
just
as a
get
Manny.
dog.
Yeah. Kids are great though. Jude's great.
Yeah, I'm not saying kids are great. I just don't want to have one.
Yeah, you never know. If you met Jude, you might change your mind. Jude's a freaking all-star. Shout out Jude. But yeah, that's a benefit in a way. It's kind of like built-in birth control.
Yeah.
I think men should be like castrated. Like Jess put up a Facebook post about how men should have like
vasectomies.
Vasectomies until they're ready to give birth. I think that would literally solve a lot of issues.
No, I think that we should. I think that that kind of thing, that kind of argument, like where it's like, oh, if you're gonna make abortions illegal, then men should have vasectomies. It's like a valid point. You know what I'm saying? Like if it makes you feel uncomfortable, the idea of policing men's bodies like that, then yeah, I guess that's the point of the argument.
Yeah, I guess this is more.
Do I actually think that we
take.
should do that? No. Because
No.
that's just as bad as the whole like
Policing
being
women's
abortions.
bodies. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's the point. Is that like
It's a take on that, but
yeah, but there are going to be people who are like for it because people are stupid and they don't know how to read or think critically about things.
yeah. Well, I hate to cut you off. Ray is here, so I'm gonna let him in.
Cool.
That concludes the first episode of the Intimate Artist Showcase podcast featuring J. Rowles, aka JR97.
Yep.
Woo-hoo! Also, aka the cock sommelier.
The cock sommelier, yeah.
send it all.
Hello.
Let's go get
Who's this?
Hey Ray.
Hey, so my mom locked us out, or locked us in, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk up those steps? I'll meet you up there. And I'll let you in through the back. Alright, I'll see you soon.
Because she's a weirdo.